Hey everyone, Kristen Lago here for Get Sports Focus. Welcome to Around the Pack. Now I'm going to kick off today's episode with some uncharacteristically unfortunate news coming out of the Pac-12 this week. Now you may have heard if you've been on Twitter at all these past 2 days, but there was an unfortunate situation going on in China as the UCLA men's basketball team was there participating in a tournament in Shanghai this week. Now 3 freshman players on that team were arrested. Those players include LiAngelo Ball, the younger brother of Los Angeles rookie Lonzo Ball, as well as other freshmen Cody Riley and Jalen Hill. Now they were arrested on Tuesday afternoon for allegedly shoplifting some sunglasses from a Louis Vuitton store next to their team's hotel in Hangzhou. Now they were later released on bail on Wednesday morning, but they do have to remain in Hangzhou. They will not be able to travel with their team to Shanghai. They have to remain there until the investigation is fully concluded and they are either formally indicted and arrested for stealing those sunglasses or the charges are dropped. Now, there's been a lot of speculation on how LeVar Ball, the very stereotypically outspoken father of LiAngelo, would react. He hasn't really commented that much. He was supposed to hold a press conference on Tuesday night. He ended up not doing that based on his legal counsel, but he was asked by ESPN's Arash Markazi if he was worried about LiAngelo, and LeVar said, quote, he'll be fine. Everybody making a big deal. It ain't that big of a deal. I think it's a pretty big deal, but I don't know. I'm not LeVar. He later released a statement about the allegations, saying it is a very unfortunate situation that the Ball family and UCLA has to deal with at this particular time. We will comment shortly, so it should be interesting to see how that investigation proceeds. Just a very unfortunate situation, as I mentioned, for the UCLA men's basketball team and Coach Steve Alford. They're still going on to play that tournament, hopefully putting that out of their mind and just playing the game, but I think UCLA will have a lot to talk about this coming week as they handle that situation. Now, moving on to some fairly happy news coming out of the Pac-12 this week. In a sport other than football and basketball, this week marked NCAA Championship Selection Monday for women's soccer. Now, the Conference of Champions definitely lived up to its name this week. They have sent 7 different schools, more than half of the conference, to the tournament. Now, as you can recall, USC was the winner of that national championship title last year. The Pac-12 is hoping for another one of their teams to be the victor in this year's tournament. Now, Cal, Arizona, USC, UCLA, Washington State, and Colorado will all be making an appearance, but my bet is on the Stanford women's soccer team. Now, you've heard me talk about them before, an incredible team they have put together this year. I think they will be heading the furthest, and they'll be taking the #1 seed, so it should be a little bit easier for them to move along in that process. And while we're talking predictions, let's talk a few more of my own, shall we? Because it's never too early to make predictions in the Pac-12, right? Right. So there's just 3 games left in this season, in the regular season, and I think it's time to start looking to beyond that to the postseason this year. In the South, it's looking more and more like USC will be crowned the champion, heading to Levi Stadium in December for the Pac-12 Championship game. They just defeated the University of Arizona Wildcats, a very hot team right now, led by quarterback Khalil Tate. They now sit in sole possession of that Pac-12 South division. They will need to beat Colorado and UCLA, 2 games that I think they will be victorious in order to cement their role as the Pac-12 South champion. But in the North, it's definitely a toss-up this year between the 2 Washington schools, Washington and Washington State. The Cougars defeated Stanford last weekend, a team that was in championship contention just a week ago, while the Huskies put the beating on the Ducks. Now, a bonus story coming out of that Huskies game came from Dante Pettis, who set the NCAA record with his 9th punt return for a touchdown. Wow, an incredible feat from Pettis, and it has been a week to remember for his family. His father, Gary, is actually the 3rd base coach for the Houston Astros, so they got their first World Series champion, while Dante set an NCAA record this week as well. Now, next up for both teams, Washington State taking on Utah, while Washington takes on Stanford. 2 must-wins if they hope to continue on track for a December 1st appearance. I'm thinking this one's going to come down to the Apple Cup on Thanksgiving weekend during rivalry week, but I'm going to bet on Washington and USC being the 2 teams to make an appearance on that December 1st game. They're both ranked very highly in the college football playoff. I think that's going to be a game to watch come December. But that's all I got for you this week. Make sure you tune in. Catch me next time. I'll be right here talking some more Around the Pack.